Gen Z has been in the news a lot lately, from news about how they're cooked to how they are maybe the richest generation to ever live, overthrowing governments, there's too many jobs and now there's no jobs. In this video, I really want to reflect on my work with the younger generation over the past couple of years and give you my perspective, which seemingly differs from what the news are telling you every single day. I think the kids are going to be fine. In fact, I think they're going to be more than fine. So if you want to get some positive news in your life, this is the third video in a series documenting my experiences as Director of AI Engineering. The playlist is going to be in the description. My name is Chavdar. I'm a software engineer for over 12 years. Most of that time has been in management. I love engineering and I especially love cultivating younger talent. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the current interviewing process for Gen Zers, especially, or the younger generation getting into software engineering, the job quality of life, the big traps that young engineers are falling into. I want to also discuss how the support structure in a lot of companies is not really present, the impact of AI on jobs for younger engineers, and finally I want to share some lessons learned managing over a dozen young engineers in the past couple of years. First off, let's start with the interviewing process. At the moment, finding a job is a pain in the ass. Especially in the software engineering industry, news keep telling you, yeah, there's a job loss, there's this, that, and the other. One thing I can promise you is that big companies are going to keep on laying off people, and big companies are going to keep posting a lot of fake ads for positions just so it seems like they're not actually reducing workforce in preparation for these positions. This is a fact across the industry at this point. Unfortunately, I love capitalism, but this doesn't mean that there's less jobs. If you are not getting any return calls from a lot of postings, this could be due to a few reasons. Your CV might suck ass. And by the way, if you think so, my email will be in the description. Feel free to send me your CV. I will give you thorough feedback. I promise, every single one of you. Now, with that said, in the past year, I've reviewed over 3,000 CVs. Okay, it's man, the amount of callbacks I send back to people, it's a single-digit percent. Just CVs tell so much to the hiring manager. I have a very simple system for CV reviews. If you don't have GitHub or LinkedIn, or you have links for them but the links are not clickable, that's going to be a no for me. Why? Because that showcases to me that you have not the capacity to think from the perspective of the interviewer. You don't have the capacity to think from the perspective of your user, essentially. The CV that you produce is, you can think about it as a tool that you produce to a colleague. That colleague needs to be considered when you build out your tool for them, right? Put yourself in the shoes of whoever's going to review your thing. I promise you, not everybody uses ATS systems. I certainly don't. Actually, I've banned them specifically because of the fact that they send out so many false positives. Now, let's say that maybe you do get a call back, then you go into the first round of interviewing. It's usually going to be with HR, and they're going to be, or the recruiting person, whatever, they're going to ask you some fundamental questions, and they're going to try to look for matches. It's not difficult to pass this point at all. Why? Because recruiters are not very complicated people. Right? They post whatever they want in their posting, right? They want to attract the right talent. It's in their interest to find good candidates. So they're not going to lie. So when they do ask you, what do you want to do? And what's your future? Blah, blah, blah. All of the answers to the questions are going to be in the job posting. So make sure you keep it around, or at least re-review it before you get on a call with anybody. And then, assuming you do pass those, you move on to an interview with a hiring manager, right? That person generally would either have matching expectations to the job posting. You could get a feeling for this by asking them some questions early. By the way, asking questions of the hiring manager is my favorite thing. When candidates come in and they are the ones interviewing me, oh man, like it's a very, very clear telltale sign that I already love this person. And especially if they do marginally well in the interviewing part, which is, by the way, the previous video in the series, they're killer. They are killers, and they will always get a job offer from me. So lessons to you, younger colleagues: interview your hiring manager, man. Interview them. It is so humbling whenever candidates ask me questions, be it dumb questions or fundamentally stupid questions or simple questions, whatever you want to call them. Whenever they ask me stuff, first off, I feel liked because I like talking, right? Everybody likes talking about themselves. So you asking somebody else to talk about themselves, be it explaining the job or the position or what they're going to be doing or how they're going to be working with people, it's a 10 out of 10. Also, please have some life in you. Be lively. Don't be fake nice and be like, oh, the weather is so nice today, and like sit with your back straight and everything. It's fine. You can just be a normal human being. I promise you this. If you behave normally with people during the interview, chances are that if you get a callback, you will probably like the hiring manager themselves because they are looking for people that they like working with, right? Or nobody wants to fucking hire unless you're talking to somebody that is not actually going to be your manager. In that case, probably just run. That means that the company's too big. just I would just book it, honestly. But that's what you learn from interviews. Just don't get too desperate, you know what I mean? Or if you are desperate, accept the job offer and continue looking look for managers that are going to accept you for who you are. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to get here with the job quality of life. It becomes very, very obvious during the interview process. And I feel very confident in saying this. My younger colleagues, basically all Gen Zers, have all taught me such critical life lessons. And I've learned something from every single one of you. In case you're watching this video somehow, hi, I miss you dearly. Each one of you guys have taught me something. How to stand up for myself, how to keep a good work-life balance, how to say no. It's just, you guys have so much power. And I think that the Gen Z protests, and not to make this video political at all, but I think the younger generation has really started appreciating the bullshit in life and putting a bigger question mark than millennials, i.e. my generation, was able to put, I guess we're not dead yet, is able to put a question mark on them. And you question them and you stand up for yourselves for the most part. And I love you guys for this. It's a quality that you should maintain. You should not come off as a pushover during the interview. I promise you, you don't want to get a job offer from somebody who likes hiring pushovers. It's just not going to lead to a very good time for you. Moving along from the job finding hunting topic, I want to discuss the impact of AI as well on younger engineering talent. And my opinions have changed quite a bit over the year as I've started to see the limitations of AI and the improvements and new models that we're starting to see. And in my opinion, we are starting to hit a wall on tooling, and I really wish we could start going back to just writing code manually. I really do think there is value in hand rolling your code. I've discussed this quite a bit during this series, but I really think that there is value in being your own engineer and applying human creativity to problems. I think that this is very much a career path that benefits from people being creative and allowing themselves to be creative with their problem solving. With that said, a lot of layoffs and similar have been blamed on AI. I think it's widely appreciated that at this point the big companies are just saying this. What I have seen in my office, you cannot replace young engineers or any engineers with AI whatsoever. Some of my final mandates was just dropping AI tooling altogether in favor of spending a little more time but developing your own frontal cortex or whatever, however the brain works, developing it and developing your own skills and abilities and bringing back life to the workspace instead of relying on AI for everything, because this dehumanization it's cooking us all, man. I don't think that it's gonna last for much longer. I'm not saying, this is not a commentary on the AI bubble or anything even related to it. I'm just saying that in the workspace, I don't think that AI will be continuing to be as overwhelming as it has been over the past couple of years. I think that there has been a lot of targeted media coverage to encourage this kind of behavior. What I would like you to take away from this video is, please do not allow the AI hype to tell you that you'll be out of a job. You are a unique person and you have your unique ideas, and I promise you're going to be able to contribute incredibly well to the world of engineering. It's just a question of finding the right people to work with. And yeah, basically, there's no secret behind this one. And with that being said, you do need to make sure that you get the support that you need. And how do you do that? For starters, I'm going to share a lesson that one of my elderly apprentices, basically a policeman, Phil, yes, this is about you. I miss you. I hope your family is doing okay. He's an older gentleman, I think closer to his 40s at this point, and career changed into software engineering after a career in the police force. The biggest strength he had was his ability to retrospectively analyze his work-life balance and what his personal needs for his own personal development are. And the biggest lesson he taught me is that younger engineers in terms of not age, but where they are in their career, really benefit from having somebody more experienced to bounce ideas off of and talk with. I've marinated on this idea for countless hours, honestly. Like I've marinated on it for so long, and the most fundamental lesson I've learned out of this marination, I guess, is the best pickle I've extracted from this pickle jar has been the idea that the imposter syndrome that is kind of a meme at this point in the software engineering community is absolutely valid and real, and how you solve this is by having somebody more experienced next to you. First off, make mistakes next to you, and if you're the more experienced person, you should try to make your mistakes more visible to everybody else, just so you can show and illustrate that making mistakes is okay. This is how you learn, encouraging that kind of behavior. And from there, also being able to be a shoulder for people to not cry on, but to rely on, to be a backstop whenever they face struggles or need help or anything like that. And I think that the fact that AI dating has been on the rise for so much lately is also a symptom of this in the wider community of people, that there is a fundamental fear of being perceived as weak or dumb or not good enough or whatever the hell you want to call yourself. And it's just easier to go talk to an AI that is always going to say yes to you. We just need to be more human to each other. I guess this has been the biggest takeaway out of this whole diary series for me, that we need to make sure that we don't drop the humane factor out of communications with each other and continue being human to each other, I guess, man. I don't have anything more fundamental or enlightening to tell you. I think this is the big takeaway for me, is that machines don't have a soul, and if you don't talk to a soul, then what's the point of being alive, I guess? You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely not for shareholder value. So what is it for then? Let me know in the comments, I guess. And please like and subscribe if you like this video. I hope this video was helpful. I'm not sure, quite rambly, but I hope you got something out of it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.